Hello and welcome guys. In today's video we will be taking a look at the 5 best weapons. I am including a bow in here, so if you enjoy and want to see more, make sure to leave that like and subscribe, and let's jump straight into the video. Taking the 5th spot, I got in here the Fang Spear. The reason I'm putting our Fang Spear into the number 5 on the list is because the Fang Spear is the second highest pierce damage weapon, beaten by the black metal at gear, and despite the spear does less damage per hit than the black metal at gear, the spear takes slightly less time to hit and costs less stamina per hit. So this is the reason why I'm putting the spear on the top 5 and I'm not putting the black metal at gear on this spot, because I feel like more DPS because you're attacking faster, and I think it fits the 5th spot of the best weapons. Opening my inventory here, you can see that the pierce damage is 17, the block power is 10, and the parry force is 0, and parry bonus to 2 times, knockback 20, and the backstab is 3 times. Of course, the parry force, it's not that big because it's overall it's a spear, right? But the pierce damage is really good, and this is not upgraded, so I'm gonna upgrade this weapon and I'm gonna show you how the weapon looks whenever she is maxed upgraded. And now taking a look at the Fang Spear, it is upgraded to level 4, so the pierce damage went from 17 to 88, so that's a good upgrade if you ask me. So for the 4th place, I got the black metal sword. The reason this sword is at the 4th place is because the black metal sword has the highest base slash damage of any weapons in the game, alongside with the black metal axe at 95 slash, as we can see right here, 95 slash damage. The sword has an alternate attack, which is the middle mouse click, that the axe does not have, so it makes the sword a little bit more useful. If you don't feel like using the black metal sword, you can switch out to the silver sword, because it's arguably the best weapon against the undead mobs, because it does a lot of spirit damage. Even though the slash damage is not that big of a deal, I'm going just for raw power of the weapon. So I'm putting black metal sword in the 4th place, because near on the future there are going to be enemies that are going to be weak to slash damage, and this is the highest slash damage weapon of the game. So the slash damage for this sword is 95, the quality is at 1. I'm gonna upgrade this to quality 4 and let's see how the slash damage stays. Okay, so I've upgraded the black metal sword to the quality of 4 and the slash damage became 113, so that's a really good upgrade, and I do believe this takes the 4th spot in the list. For the 3rd spot, I got Frostner. Frostner is a one-handed hammer. You can use it with a shield, for example. There's a lot of things to say about Frostner. So one is really good against the undead because it does spirit damage. The frost damage seems to drain the stamina from non-frost based enemies, excluding trolls of course. So every time you hit your enemy, it's just gonna make him move slower because of your frost damage. So these are the stats for the Frostner. We have blunt 35, frost 40, spirit 20, block power 10, parry force 13, parry bonus 2 times, knockback 120, that's huge knockback. So let's upgrade this bad boy into quality 4 and see how the stats go. So the Frostner is upgraded at quality 4, and the only thing that changed was the frost damage to 58 and its parry force to 45. The rest stayed the same, 120 knockback, parry bonus 2 times, backstab 3 times, spirit damage 20 and blunt 35. So overall, you're just gonna do a little bit more frost damage, and yeah, it's just gonna make your targets go slow. So if you are trying to figure out the combat or you're trying to learn something in combat, I think this is a really good weapon for that, because you're just slowing your targets down. So I do believe that this takes the number 3. And for the 2nd place, we have Jogfang, which is a bow. So I'm gonna pick this up, and so for the status, we have block power of 5, piece of 47, poison of 5, parry bonus of 1.5 times, parry force none, knockback 20 and backstab 3 times. So this is a bow. This is the best bow of the game. The bow adds poison damage, which is particularly effective against the foolings on the plains, which are the goblins. The poison effect from the bow stacks with the poison arrows, so that's always good to have. And one downside of this weapon is that the glow of the weapon makes you a little bit more easy to be identified whenever you're trying to sneak somewhere. You keep in mind that, that's kind of important to know. So let me just go and upgrade this bad boy to level 4 and see how the stats looks. This guy is upgraded, quality 4, so pierce damage 56, poison 20, went up a lot. Block power stayed the same, parry force stayed the same, parry bonus, knockback and backstab, it stayed the same as well. So the pierce damage, the poison damage, it really helps you out, and pierce damage and blunt damage are really good in this game as of we are right now. And now for the number 1 spot, we have Porcupine. The Porcupine is really good because in terms of late game, this is the weapon that you want to have, because It has a combination of blunt and pierce damage that makes it all around an effective weapon against a lot of enemies. So now you can see at night or close to night, you can see how this is glowing, and I think this is really cool. So I'm gonna give him another point just because of, you know, of the glowing. I think it's really cool, so that's another point for me. Taking a look at the stats, you can see we have blunt 15, pierce of 45, block power of 20, parry force of 30, and parry bonus 2 times, knockback 19, and backstab 3 times. So let me just go ahead and upgrade this bad boy to level 4 and see how it looks. This bad boy upgraded, blunt damage 15, pierce damage 63, block power of 20, parry force 45, parry bonus 2 times, knockback 19, and backstab 3 times. So overall, I think it's like the best weapon, the best obtainable weapon that you can have is this Porcupine, because it does a mix of 2 types of damage and it's very efficient against a lot of enemies. So it really takes the #1 spot for me, the best weapon, at least that so far in Valheim. So now there's like a bonus weapon. You cannot craft this weapon like all the other weapons. They have recipes, but this one does not have. You can only get this weapon by sheets, but this weapon is really strong, and I mean like super strong. So let me just come in here and pick up my so-called sheet sword. So this is the sheet sword. You can only have this weapon by using sheets, by spawning it. There's no crafting recipe for this sword. I think that's obvious. And overall, it's a really good weapon. You can one-shot every single enemy, and you can kill bosses with 2 hits pretty much. This is the best sword, but honestly it's not obtainable. It's just on creative. You can pick up this sword on creative, so that's what it is. So again, I'm gonna give some extra points to this sword because of the effect on the sword right now, as you can see, but it's not glowing all around the sword. As you can see, the ground is not being affected by the glow, but yeah, so that takes another point out of it, I believe. So I really felt like putting this sword in here just because as a bonus, because you cannot obtain this sword anyway, but just as a bonus to show you. Maybe some of you didn't know that this sword exists, so I just wanted to show you that. I think that was pretty cool. Please make sure to drop that like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the channel. Bye!